Hello YouTube, it's me, it's Michael B. Thank you so much for watching, and in today's video, I'm going to give you a tour of my brand new home arcade game room, Arcade1Up home arcade. I know I've moved around a lot in the last little while, but I think I've got a really great spot now. I busted my ass last night, made sure everything was up and decorated, and it's finally ready to show off. Hope you guys enjoy. So here guys, we're walking into my new home arcade space. I'm gonna miss my old space, but I think this one will do. Anyways, first up, we have the cabs that have survived from the various downsizing that I had to do, but I've reclaimed this space, and as you can see, there's no storage on the other side. It's just DVDs and movies, and you know, honestly, I could probably fit a couple more cabs along this wall if I wanted to. So let's take a look at the cabs that I still have. We've got the Pac-Man XL. Huge fan of this. This is my favorite cab that Arcade1Up have released in the last 2 years. I'm still praying for more XL cabs. This is a good one. I still got my Pac-Man stool. Next to that, of course, is the NBA Jam XL cabinet. Shaq Edition. I wish it wasn't Shaq Edition, but what are you going to do? It doesn't seem like they're going to release one that isn't the Shaq Edition. I did do the screen mod on this, so you can see beautiful screen, no washout. Next to that is the Killer Instinct Pro. This is an incredible cabinet. The only problem is the $1,000 price point. If this was down around $699 or it was just basically an XL, I would have been super happy with this. Great cabinet, just not worth the price point. And of course, the problems with the controls, as we know. Next to that, we've got the Golden Tee XL, my least favorite of the XL cabinets, unfortunately. This one, I did do the screen upgrades, so no washout, but unfortunately, my backlighting in my monitor went. I don't know if this camera will pick it up, but there's a dark patch on this side of the screen, so I'm going to have to replace the monitor. I've been talking to Buy Stuff Store about doing their 19-inch monitor on this. That's something I may do in the future. The other thing that's a problem with this cabinet is this trackball is horrible. I don't know if it's got bad rollers or not. I'm going to try to clean it. My hope is that eventually the GRS trackball for Golden Tee, the one that's in the New Wave Toys control deck, hopefully Glenn will sell that eventually as a plug-and-play like replacement piece for an Arcade1Up, so I can switch this out and get Glenn's Glenn's trackball for this control deck. No, that's going to play a lot better than what we're experiencing right now with the Golden Tee XL. Of course, there's rumors that they're coming out with an updated model with a better screen this year. For you people in the US, hopefully a better trackball as well. So that's an option for you. Anyways, there they are. All 4 XL cabs that Arcade1Up have released so far. Hopefully for you guys like me that like the XL cabs, there's some more coming in the future. And hopefully for us in Canada, we'll figure out some way to get our hands on them, because unfortunately, like we all know, Pac-Man XL wasn't available in Canada. Moving on, we've got the most expensive piece of my home arcade room, my favorite item, which is my Godzilla Premium Pinball. This thing is absolutely beautiful. This is something that will never leave my collection. Absolutely in love with it. In my opinion, the best pinball machine ever made. Still to this day, I have done some upgrades on it. Of course, I've added a shaker motor, and I did the art blades, but that's about it. That's about it. You know, guys, I'm the kind of person that likes to leave things stock, so I didn't do any of the Stumbler mods or anything like that, but game still plays great, still keeps me entertained. I'm not the best, but, you know, getting closer to 1 billion every day. So that is my Godzilla Pinball. Moving on to the other side, we'll show you the deluxe and other cabinets I've added back to my collection this year. Of course, you guys remember I picked up Dragon's Lair from the Brick recently while it was on sale. Love this cabinet, one of the unicorns or the special cabs Arcade1Up made. Very glad I was able to get this back before it went out of print here in Canada, or at least unavailable here in Canada. I would have got it secondhand, but I would really prefer to get a new one, especially where it was on sale. Love this game. It gets a lot more play than you guys would expect in my arcade. Next up is the MK2 Deluxe, such a versatile cabinet. Of course, I grew up in the 90s, big Mortal Kombat fan. Love Mortal Kombat 2. It's my favorite artwork on the cabinets in the series, although Arcade1Up took some creative liberties with the blue on it. It's got a pretty good marquee, not nearly as good as the Street Fighter Champion Edition, but the marquee is not bad. Control panel is really good. Of course, the controls are just slightly better than previous iterations, but it's got a really fun games list, tappers on there, bubbles, but I mainly just play Mortal Kombat 2 on here. Haven't had as much time to get into that and play it as recently as I would have liked, but hopefully now that this place is decorated, I've got some things out of the way, I'll get to spend a little bit more time down here. Next to that, and I did get this on sale as well for $4.99. That's one of the big reasons I added it. Next to that is the Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition Deluxe cabinet, and even though Street Fighter's been released a couple times, this is close to being one of those special cabinets. Of course, it's got that new deck with no plexiglass. My OCD goes nuts every time I look at it, but so far so good. It's held up. There's been no damage to the control panel, no art wearing off, so that's good. Games list on this cab is just okay. I think Big Blue had a better games list, but of course I can play Street Fighter. There's Final Fight, Captain Commando, and a couple other fun games, but I do like the other Street Fighter games lists better, but I buy these mainly to play the title games, so that's not that big a deal. And I still have a PCB for a Big Blue that I can pop in there if I wanted to. Only problem is I'll still have those audio issues. And then next to that, the cab with one game. Not that big a deal for me because I buy them mainly for the main game, T2. Really fun arcade. The guns, of course, as you know, they're a little light, but they're okay. I really like, after I sold it, like the day after I sold it originally, they actually did an update and they took out the pixel smoothing that was in there. So now we got those crisp pixels that I like on these arcades. Man, that marquee is a little washed out, isn't it? Anyways, T2 is back. My daughter absolutely loves this game. This is her favorite to play. I enjoy it. So, yeah, T2. And the big reason I got this one, of course, the Brick had this on sale for a while. $4.99. All these cabs here I purchased on sale all around the $500 mark, except for Dragon's Lair. That was about $600. Now, I possibly can squeeze another cab along this wall. It'd be a tight fit, but I can, if Arcade1Up ever comes out with anything new. I don't know if that's possible, but if they do, I can add a new cab, or, I might go back and try to pick up a used copy of Star Wars or another Tron. Who knows? And I've always got this space over here. If I ever want to clear out the movies and stuff, I can also put something there. Never mind the dirt in the middle of the room. I'm still working on it. Of course, an arcade space is fine with the machines, but you've got to have other things to make it feel like home to you. My arcade growing up was right next to a movie theater, so I always like to put movie posters up. You can see there I've managed to fit Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Jason X, and Bubba Hotep all along this wall. This is a little bit challenging because I don't know if you can see back there, I've got a bit of a ridge, which means I can't put the full-size movie posters down. In fact, Halloween is a little bit bigger than these two other horror movie posters, so that's actually not even hung on the wall. That's just laying on the ledge there. It's the only way I could get it to fit. Most of these I've had since I was a kid. Bubba Hotep, Jason X I got from my local movie theater. My ex-girlfriend actually bought me these two horror movie posters when we were together. That's, 19, 20 years ago now. And the Halloween poster I did add after the fact. Then on this wall over here, we've got Army of Darkness. I'm a big Bruce Campbell fan, as you may have already guessed. And of course, my favorite movie of all time, and the only non-horror movie poster in this room, Back to the Future. Got to get back in time. And then next to that, we've got a very special poster. I would like to put another movie poster up, but it's just not possible because actually below that, there is a thermostat and it's just impossible to put a movie poster up. So what I've got here is actually a sign from our local strip club that was at the hockey stadium I used to work at when I was younger. And when we shut down the hockey stadium, I got the opportunity to take this strip club poster home. I've never really had it up, but when I had this weird space I couldn't put a movie poster up, I mean, why not put up a strip club poster? I'm a classy dude. And then last but not least, you got to have the proper ambience in your room, and lighting is so important if you want to try to recreate that arcade feel. So let's go over some of the lighting here. Now you'll notice up around the ceiling, I have a very good light going around now. This took forever to put up last night because it involved 50 little hooks that the rope light went into. So I picked up this off Amazon LED neon rope light, 50 feet, which basically is just enough to get around the room, and then you can see the little bit that goes down there in the corner, a little bit left over. I had some normal LED lights up that were 50 feet, but honestly, they were just a little bit too small and didn't really light up the room enough. It felt a little bit dark in here, so I wanted something a little bit more substantial, so I went with the rope light. Moving over here, these are coming over from my old arcade space, so I've got my flashing arcade sign. This is a staple for my arcade. This had to go back up. And then on this other side, I've got this Alpine neon light. My buddy at one point was a beer rep for Moosehead. He hooked me up with this one. Very happy to have it in my room. I also have a neon blue Samuel Adams light that I never put up because, unfortunately, it interferes with Terminator 2, the light gun technology. So I didn't really have a good place to put it, and I didn't want it interfering with T2 and the Sinden light guns. Last but not least, we've got this cool galaxy thing up on the ceiling. Notice the laser things going across the ceiling. You'll also notice the galaxy type thing there. This is actually a galaxy lamp. I reviewed this a couple of years ago on my channel, and I always try to find unique reasons to bust it out and talk about it and use it. And where this room doesn't have a light in the center ceiling for whatever reason, it has this weird bulkhead over here that has 3 lights in it. I figured this would be the perfect room to use it in. It was a little bit more substantial when I had the darker lights up, but I'm still happy with how it looks. So anyways, guys, that's just a look at my new home arcade game room featuring 4 XL or Pro Arcade1Up, 4 other Arcade1Up Deluxe and Riser 3/4 scale cabs, and of course my Stern Godzilla Premium Pinball. Great thing about this room, of course, the other side of it isn't full of clutter and storage. I love the way that it's decorated, I love the way it's laid out, and realistically, I can fit a couple more cabs in there when something interesting comes out, if something interesting comes out in the future, so there's room for it still to grow. Anyways, guys, let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of my new Arcade1Up game room? Do you think this one is a better fit than what I was doing with the last iteration of the Genie-cade, where I had it in half my old arcade, and then of course I had the other space full of clutter? Of course it's better. What do you think of the decorations, the movie posters, the lights, all that stuff? Do you dig the vibe I have in the room? And what other machines do you think I should add to the arcade? Anyways, guys, thank you so very much for watching. This is Michael B. the Game Genie, and I'll talk to you next time.